All right, what's up, die-hard American metal crew? Welcome back. Today, we are getting into something big. A brand new law and a pretty serious new tariff are changing the whole game for American manufacturing. And look, this isn't just another boring policy update. This is a fundamental shift in how you need to think about your shop floor. So let's break down what this really means for you and your business.
So here it is, plain and simple. A 14% tariff wall just went up on a whole bunch of strategic imports. This is the new reality. So for every single person watching, every shop owner, every manager, every machinist on the floor, the question is a simple one. How do you not just get by, but actually come out on top? Well, that's exactly what this playbook is all about.
We're going to hit this in 5 key parts. First, we'll cover the new rules of the game. Then, we'll get right into the nuts and bolts of your investment playbook. After that, we'll talk about how to turn your scrap into a secret weapon, how to find the money for all this, and finally, how to put it all together to build an absolute fortress of a factory.
Okay, let's kick it off. Section 1, the new rules of engagement. You got to understand the battlefield before you can win the war, right? There's a big challenge staring us in the face, but man, there's an even bigger opportunity if you play your cards right. Everything starts with this number, 14%. Now, this isn't just some random tax. It's a strategic move meant to jack up the cost of foreign materials and level the playing field. For you, it means one thing. That 14% is now the new basement for your material costs. It's the new cost of doing business you absolutely have to beat. And this is not some academic exercise. Take a look at these numbers. This is happening right now. Copper is already up 18%. Steel conduit up 14%. Electrical panels, a massive 22% jump. We're hearing that lead times for things like switchgear have basically doubled. This is the wall. This is the pressure. But here's the thing about walls. They also create opportunities. And that's where this One Big Beautiful Bill Act, or OBBBA, comes in. Just look at the difference here. The old law was actually phasing out a lot of the good stuff. OBBBA, it just slams the accelerator to the floor. We're talking permanent 100% bonus depreciation, immediate R&D expensing, and, this is the big one, a 100% first-year deduction for building a new factory.
So, you know the rules. How do you use them to win? That brings us to Section 2, your Capex investment playbook. Think of this as your new toolkit for fighting back against those tariffs by making smart investments right here at home.
This chart right here is your new arsenal. Permanent 100% bonus depreciation. That means you buy a new machine, you write off the whole cost right now. The Section 179 limit for small shops, more than doubled. R&D, instant write-off. And that QPP thing, that's the game changer for anyone thinking about expanding.
So, QPP. Sounds like government alphabet soup, I know, but qualified production property is a huge deal. It's a massive incentive that lets you deduct 100% of the cost of a new factory or production facility in the very first year. The whole point is to get people building new, state-of-the-art shops on American soil, plain and simple.
Let's make this real. Let's say you go out and build a new $50 million facility. We'll say $40 million of that is for the building itself. Under QPP, you could potentially deduct that entire $40 million on your taxes immediately. I mean, think about that. That's a massive shield that frees up an incredible amount of cash you can pour right back into the business.
And listen, this isn't just for the huge corporations. Not at all. OBB cranks up the Section 179 expensing limit to $2.5 million. For all the small and mid-sized shops out there, this is your green light. It lets you write off the full cost of that new CNC mill or that plasma cutter you desperately need right away. Okay, on to Section 3. Now this is where the strategy gets really slick. We're talking about how to weaponize your waste stream. You heard me right. We're going to take something you probably sell for pennies on the dollar and turn it into your #1 defense against these tariffs. The big idea here is what they're calling a circular supply chain. It sounds complicated, but it's not. It just means you bring the recycling technology right onto your own shop floor. Instead of buying new raw material from overseas and getting hit with that 14% tariff, you process your own scrap and turn it right back into feedstock. You become your own supplier. You close the loop. This quote here just nails the new way of thinking. Your scrap pile isn't garbage anymore, it's a latent asset. And you can arbitrage it. That's a fancy word for playing its value against that 14% tariff. Suddenly, the value of your scrap isn't just what some recycler will pay you for it. Its real value is the 14% tax you don't have to pay. And the math on this is just beautiful. Let's say you invest $1.5 million in an in-house melter. Step 1.
Step 2, thanks to OBBBA, you deduct that entire cost in year 1. That immediately saves you over 300 grand in taxes. And the payoff? You avoid that 14% tariff on that part of your material forever. That's a permanent competitive advantage.
Now, of course, all this new equipment and these new ideas need two things to work: money and people. That brings us to Section 4, Smarter Money, Stronger Workforce. OBBBA actually has some smart plays for both.
Okay, this slide looks a little technical, I get it, EBIT, EBITDA, but hang with me, because this is huge. The old law limited how much interest you could deduct based on your earnings after you subtracted depreciation. So the more you invested, the more you were punished. It was backward. The new rule flips it. Now it's based on earnings before depreciation.
So what does all that accountant speak mean? It's really simple. A bigger interest deduction makes it cheaper to borrow money. It lowers your real after-tax cost of financing the very machines you need to buy to make all this work and beat the tariffs. And a store.
And you need good people to run those machines, right? Well, OBBBA throws in some new tools to help you keep them. The half in your time and a half overtime pay, that's now tax-free for your workers, up to a certain limit. That's a raise that doesn't cost you a dime. Plus, it makes employer student loan help permanent, and it juices up the child care benefits.
And that brings us home to our final section, Building the Fortress Factory. This is all about putting all these pieces together: the tax breaks, the circular supply chain, the financing, to create a new kind of American manufacturing beast.
This right here is the goal. This is what we're building. A shop floor that's self-sufficient, making its own raw materials. A shop that's resilient because it's not at the mercy of foreign suppliers and tariffs. And a shop that is absolutely ready to compete and win against anyone in the world.
I think this quote just perfectly captures the whole strategy. The tariff is the wall. It's the challenge that's forcing us to get smarter. But OBBBA is the engine. It's the high-octane fuel of incentives that's going to let us power right over that wall and come out stronger on the other side.
So, the takeaway from all this is simple. The game has totally changed. Your scrap pile, your investment strategy, your supply chain, these are not just lines on a spreadsheet anymore. They are strategic weapons, and the only question left to ask is, are you ready to use them? Thanks for watching.